Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today it's all about the food. You'll be gathering different food types that match your traits. You might be going meat heavy, or maybe just sticking to the vegetables. And the reasons for doing so might be visible to other players or might be hidden. What's for Dinner is a light and fast game designed to cleanse the palate, inspire hungry players, and let the winner decide that night's dinner plans. It's for 2 to 6 players, ages 13 and up, and plays in 15 to 20 minutes. It's published by a la carte games. Now it's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, and then I'll see you on the other side. This is a Kickstarter preview, so all the art and components you see here are prototype, and you'll want to check the link in the description of the video to go to that Kickstarter page and see all the final art and components. In What's for Dinner, there's a pyramid of food here, and on your turn you're going to be rolling this die and maybe using this die or spending money in order to get these different meals. Now at the beginning of the game, each player will get 3 of these trait cards. They'll discard one face down out of the game, and they'll select 2 of them. So here we have Vegetarian. These give you end game goals. This will get you 3 points if none of the meals that you've collected throughout the game have meat. Picky will get you 5 points if you have acquired the least amount of meal cards. Now you'll pick these secretly, and at the same time, once everybody has selected them, everyone will put the one that they choose face up. This face up one, since other players can see what you're going for, if you're able to do this and fulfill this, it'll actually be worth double that. So if I have no meat in any of my meals at the end of the game, I'll actually get 6 points. Now on your turn, before you do anything, you can optionally remove one of the 2 middle cards in this row and put it underneath here face down as a defensive measure against other players, and it will get refilled on the next player's turn. Then you're going to roll this die. Now let's say that you rolled a broccoli, and the die represents the player's craving for this turn, in this case, broccoli. You have 2 choices. You can either grab any of the ones that have broccoli on it. These will be worth points at the end of the game, but remember you're trying to match up this with sort of your trait goals. Or you can spend money, shown on the right, to get these cards instead of using the die of the food type. Now each player starts with 3 wallet cards. These are secret to the other players, and you can spend as much money as you want to get any one meal. If you have these action cards that are part of your wallet, you can spend as many as you want on a turn. This is you could spend this to the discard pile to re-roll the food die if you want, or you can spend this money to get one of those meals, and you don't get any change back. Now, if you do not want to get any of these meal cards, either by the die or by paying for it, you can discard any one of these cards out of the game. And when you do that, you'll actually put that card in the dumpster. Now, the box acts as the dumpster. Once you raise this lid off, the bottom side of this is the dumpster. So anytime you discard a card, it goes right into the dumpster. Then, when you discard a card like that, you actually get to take one of these wallet cards. These are the ones that I just showed you before that have money and some special actions on them. When it goes to the next player's turn at this point, this would then flip up a new card. It would then be that player's turn, and they'd follow the same exact process. Now when rolling the die, if it comes up as bacon, this is used as wild. So this bacon could really get any one of these. However, if a card has bacon on it, it has to be rolled bacon in order to get it. Now you'll keep doing this, taking turns in clockwise order until the last card of the deck comes out like this. Now we'll just make sure that everybody has had the same amount of turns, meaning the player sitting just to the right of the start player will get the last turn of the game. Then at the end of the game, each player will tally up all the points on the cards that they've gotten. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 total points here to start with. At this point, players might be able to use an action on one of their meal cards or their trait cards. For example, a player might have had this as their visible trait card, and it says at the end of the game, before hidden traits are revealed, choose any one trait card not in play and reveal it as a hidden trait. So it allows you to do a specific action like that. Or some of the meals have some actions, like before hidden traits are revealed, you could discard this TV dinner and swap your revealed trait card with your hidden trait card. So you can put one face up and one face down. Again, the one that's face up is going to be worth double if you follow the rule. Now, each player is going to score for their trait card. Remember, if it's revealed, you get twice as much. This would be 6 points. Now, I have no meat. Now, even if you have bacon, bacon does not count as meat for the trait cards. Since there is no meat here, it's still no meat. So I actually get 6 more points. So now I'm at 24. Then you would reveal this. And let's just say I did make this. I had the least acquired cards. We have this. Then my points would be 29. And at this point, whoever has the most points wins. If there's players that are tied, the player with the most money in their wallet cards win. If there's still a tie, the player with the most total meal cards is the winner. And if there's still a tie, the first player to roll an uncontested bacon on the die will win. Now let me show you some of the other trait cards that you might be able to get. The Dumpster Diver. This has to be a hidden trait, and at the end of the game, after the hidden traits are revealed, you can choose one of the previously discarded meal cards or one that's still in the pyramid at the end of the game. The Fad Diet. You cannot have all 5 of the basic food types. Cheapskate. You have the lowest total money of all the acquired meal cards, so the total cost of all those. The Gluten Intolerant, you can't have any grain. The Kosher Restriction, no meat and dairy on the same meal card. Baconophobia, it must be a hidden trait and you can't have any bacon. Lactose Intolerant, no dairy, and Veggie Intolerant, no veggies. Now let's look at some more trait cards. Flexitarian, you cannot have more than 1 meat. Hunger Cravings, most acquired total meal cards. Foodie, highest dollar total listed on all the cards acquired between the $15 and $20 meal cards. Bodybuilder Diet, highest total quantity of meat and grain icons among all the players. Fructose, no fruit. Vegan, no meat or dairy. And Irritable Bowel Syndrome, no meat, dairy, or grain. And the trait cards will always be satisfied in a tie with another player at the end of the game's final scoring. Now the wallet cards, I showed you some money earlier. They come in 5s, 10s, 15s, and 20s, but then there's a bunch of different actions you can get from those. Before I had showed you the rerolled the food die, the healthy snack, but there's other things they can do too, like canceled reservations. During another player's turn, you can force them to redo their turn, but they don't get any of their wallet cards back that they spent. Bacon wrapped. Add bacon wrapping to any meal card in the food pyramid, and that means that the meal card can only be acquired by a bacon roll. So in that case, you take one of these clear bacon wraps and you put it right over the card just to show that nothing else can get this except bacon, not even paying for the card. The meal ticket takes an additional turn. A hair in your soup, you get to choose a player and they must discard one of their meal cards. And fresh and made to order, you have to play before a player rolls the food die, then you shuffle all the cards in that pyramid with the meal deck, and then you refill the entire food pyramid. And the chef's special, you can draw 2 of these wallet cards. Now here's some of the special action cards on some of the meal cards. Chocolate chip cookies, when you acquire it, you must skip your next turn. Mac and cheese with bacon bits, you can only get it by spending 20 or by rolling a bacon, and at the end of the game you roll the food die, and depending on what you get, that's how many points you get. Survival food kit, you can discard at any time and you roll the food die and acquire a meal card matching the result. And leftovers, before the hidden traits are revealed at the end of the game, you give this leftovers to another player and it's going to get them -2 points. Now there are some different variants. You can play the a la carte variant, which is you're playing with 1 card of the trait cards and it's visible and it still scores you double its printed point total. Or you can play with the hidden agenda variant where both of your trait cards are hidden and they're worth face value. With the expiration date variant, at the end of the first player's turn each round, you'd roll this die, and depending on which one is rolled, one of these will get removed. You can just set it up like this one is strawberry, this one is broccoli, this one is meat, this one is cheese, and this one is grain, and if it's bacon, they get to choose. And the single serving meal, you essentially can shuffle all these cards and pick it out, and that's what you'll have for dinner. And finally, families may have the ability to add their own favorite family meal to the game, but check the link in the description of this video to be brought to the Kickstarter page to see any possible details for that. Well, there you have what's for dinner, and as I've shown in the overview, it's a light, fast game with a fun, family-friendly theme where you're trying to collect the right sets to get you the most points in the end. Now, if you'd like to see all of the final art and components and all the different pledge levels, you can click the link below me in the description of this video, and it will take you right to the Kickstarter project page, and I'm sure the fine folks at A La Carte Games would love your support. This has been the Game Boy Geek, helping you find and enjoy the next board game you'll love.